You just heard Jim Sciutto report the U.S. Navy. You're familiar with the U.S. Navy increasing its presence, the aircraft carrier battle group, the Theodore Roosevelt, moving closer to Yemen, potentially to intercept some warships. The Iranians are sending some warships to that area to bolster the Houthi Shiite rebels. What's your analysis? What's your response to this latest development? It sounds pretty ominous.
Well, it is a bit ominous whenever you have ships at sea that have opposite objectives. Then the Iranians have been steady suppliers of the Houthis, usually by sea. I've seen a dhow that was huge, that carried a lot of weapons, that the Iranians carried the weapons. Also, they provide training. There's no doubt that the Houthis are the vassals of the Iranians. So that is a very serious situation. Another situation here, I think, Wolf, that we have to worry about is I'm not sure that airstrikes alone from Saudi Arabia will be enough to break the advance of Houthis. And of course, because of this upheaval and chaos, Al-Qaeda has stepped into it, and they're gaining traction as well. So this is an incredibly serious situation. As you mentioned earlier, the position of Yemen, and look across those straits at Somalia, there's a possibility or a scenario that one of the world's busiest waterways could be impeded or even closed. That's a worst-case scenario. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's something we need to be concerned about.
Because in their statement, the Pentagon said they're moving the USS Theodore Roosevelt, the aircraft carrier, the battle group, the guided missile cruiser USS Normandy, ships that I'm sure you're familiar with, in part to ensure the vital shipping lanes in the region, that they remain open and safe. Here's the question. Would you support U.S. air power from that aircraft carrier to be used to help the Saudis deal with these airstrikes in Yemen?
I would. I'd have to have forward air controllers on the ground, and it would have to be a assessment that there was no other option, because it is a very serious escalatory step, as you know. And as much as I love air power alone is not the decisive factor in a conflict. So you'd have to say, if you're going to use U.S. air power, what else is going to happen in order to make sure you're able to stop the Houthis and now Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula? Because
AQAP, which arguably may be the biggest terror threat to the U.S., they have really intensified. They've grown in the last few weeks in the midst of this chaos, the failure of this so-called state in Yemen right now.
Yes, and they will continue to have this kind of environment be most conducive to their expansion and their success. But again, it was very obvious to many of us that this did not have to have happened. We did not take care of the regime that was in place, the president that was there, and it is a symptom of our failure throughout the Middle East.